If you're running your business on ChatGPT, you're probably getting okay results and assuming, well, that's just what AI does. But it isn't. So, in this video, I'm going to show you why Claude is the AI solopreneurs should actually be using and how to switch over without losing any of that context or memory you've already built up in ChatGPT. So, I'm Laura. I run all four major AI platforms every day and I test them against each other all the time. I've run the experiments, so you don't have to. So I truly believe that for solo and micro business owners, content creation is the single biggest AI opportunity there is. So let me share with you three reasons why I think content is where the real leverage lives. First of all, content is non billable, right? The hours you save writing a newsletter go straight to your life, or they free you up to add more clients to your roster, okay? Second of all, content actually compounds. So if you write that newsletter, that's what's going to help keep your referral network warm. A blog post is going to build trust with the prospect who's maybe still deciding about you. A LinkedIn post, that keeps you visible. So every piece you shipped, it just keeps paying dividends after you stop working on it. And AI just multiplies how many pieces you can ship without getting burned out. And number three is one you may not have thought about. So, LinkedIn and content platforms are now major AI reference sources. What that means is that when the LLMs go looking for who to recommend for a certain kind of work, that's where they're looking. They're looking on LinkedIn and they're looking for long form content. So, when a potential client of yours opens Claude or ChatGPT and asks, who should I hire for X? Your content is either in that answer or it isn't. And so if you're not publishing, you're not in the answer. So this is the new SEO. I mean, yay, something else we get to think about. But it's a fundamentally different game than Google SEO was. And so it's something that we really need to put in that mix when we think about how are clients finding us and finding out about us. So here's what you need to know. Claude is just better at almost every aspect of content creation in terms of things that you can currently hand off to AI. So I think we can separate content creation into four big buckets. Creative brainstorming, so like story angles or coming up with headlines, long form content, so newsletters or blogs, short form content, social media, or marketing strategy, sort of how do you put all that together in a way that gets clients to buy from you. So in action, that first bucket, the win actually goes to ChatGPT because it is really great at generating creative ideas at volume quickly. So if you need to create 10 variations on a headline or you need ideas for a name for your offer, ChatGPT does a great job with this. And I think it gets you a wider range of ideas that are meaningfully different from each other. I think when you do it with Claude or Gemini, a lot of times they just slot in different words that mean the same thing, but you're not really getting like good, solid creative out of it. So, heads up, even though I'm recommending that you switch over to the paid version of Claude, that doesn't mean you should delete ChatGPT off your computer because the one thing it does better than Claude is creative brainstorming. So, the good thing is, if that's all you're using it for, and you move the things I'm going to talk about in a second over to Claude, the free version of ChatGPT is going to work for you just fine. Now, one thing you might be worried about if you've been using ChatGPT a lot is that ChatGPT has built up a lot of memory about you and your business. And so you could be worried about like losing all of that context when you switch. But in just a few minutes, I'm going to show you a super easy way to transfer all of that that seriously takes about 2 minutes. So the second big bucket of content that most of us create for marketing is long form content, like blog posts or newsletters. And I know you're probably thinking that you are sick of being bombarded with AI slop. And maybe that's one of the things that's keeping you from using AI as your writing partner. But with the right setup, Claude can actually get you 80% of the way to a blog post or a newsletter that communicates your authentic ideas and that sounds like you. Because ironically, that crappy AI content explosion is actually making it more important that you get in the long form content game because long form is the best possible way for you to build trust because it shares your experience and expertise at a time when most people are either doing nothing or they don't care and they're just throwing stuff up there with AI. So if you take the time and make a little investment on your end, it can really help you stand out. So, look, I don't know if you want to get in the weeds on this or not, but for those of you who want to know the why that goes with the what in terms of Claude being better at long form, it's because it has something called a larger context window, which is really just a fancy way of saying that it can hold on to a train of thought longer than ChatGPT. Specifically, Claude can maintain your voice across 10,000 word outputs. It's also much better at organizing. So your long form content is going to just have a better structure. And also, because of that long context window, it's less likely to forget what it already wrote and then repeat itself. ChatGPT is kind of like Dory in Finding Nemo. It says something and then forgot what it said. So the longer your content, the more you want Claude as your writing buddy. So, number three, let's move on to social media. And I'm guessing this is the place where you might appreciate handing stuff off to AI the most. So, you might be wondering if ChatGPT is so good at the creative stuff, then why would you switch to Claude for social media? And the short answer is that Claude actually sounds more human. It's baked into the model. So, short form is where the AI tells usually show up, right? The M dashes, the in today's fast paced landscape, or let's fix that, or no fluff. I'm sure you have your own list of these that drive you nuts. But if you train it right, Claude is going to get a lot closer to sounding like you a lot faster, and it's not going to forget about it midstream. So the data backs this up. In Q1 2026 blind human evaluations, Claude's writing was preferred over ChatGPT's. And again, at no point in this video do I want you to hear me say that AI can take over writing 100% of your content. That's just not true. So the gift here, the opportunity here is that if you set it up and you give it some good ideas to work with, it will get you 80% of the way there. And then you take it the rest of the way and you polish it up and you make it really yours. That's what makes it jump off the page. And it's what's going to help people remember you. So I will mention one thing. If you write copy that has to hit exact rules like compliance language, ChatGPT does a better job of following rules. But if you don't have that problem, or your rules are easy to fix on that 20% polish it up side, it's not going to be a problem for you. Okay, so in the head-to-head comparison, we're at Claude 2, ChatGPT 1. So I just want to show you real quick how they stack up on marketing strategy, that fourth bucket, and then I'm going to show you how you can easily make the switch without losing any of that history you've built up with chat. So if you're going to get serious about marketing your business and really commit and be consistent, and that's why you're looking for an AI assist on this, you need a marketing plan. But there's a major watch out here, regardless of what model to use. The problem with asking AI for strategic advice is that it's always going to give you an answer that seems authoritative, even if it's full of shit. These models are designed to give you what you want, what you ask for. And so a lot of times they aren't going to stop and request the additional information that could impact the outcome. And so this is where writing a good prompt can really make a difference. But in the end, I do think Claude is the better strategic partner. And this is why. First of all, the model is built to call out assumptions and push back without you specifically asking, where ChatGPT is really, it's just more of a suck up. It's much more likely to agree with you and then kind of extend the direction you were going instead of challenging you and maybe laying out some other options. Number two, the benchmark data tells us that Claude leads when it comes to complex reasoning. And what that means for you when you're creating a strategy is that it can reason its way through multi step problems without getting turned around. And then number three, Claude's extended thinking is actually included in the $20 a month plan, whereas ChatGPT has put its highest reasoning model up in the enterprise tier. Okay, it's more expensive. So at the end of the day, ChatGPT will get you an answer, but I know Claude will give you an answer plus some stuff that you didn't ask for, right? It's going to be a better sparring partner. It does a better job of helping you see around corners. Okay, so now that we've covered the how and the why, let me just show you how to make the switch without losing any of your ChatGPT memories. So what we're going to do is you're going to open up Claude in your browser. You're going to sign up for an account if you don't already have one. You can start with a free tier. And then you come down here and you go to settings. And then from settings, what we want to do is we want to go down here to capability. And you see right here, it says import memory from other AI providers. So we're going to go start import. And what it says is copy this prompt into a chat with your other AI provider. So we're going to hit copy. We're going to go over and we're going to paste this prompt into ChatGPT. And when we come back, we're going to put the results of what we got from ChatGPT right here and click this add to memory button. So you're going to go over here to ChatGPT. You're going to type in the prompt. You're going to hit this button right here, and that is going to consolidate all of your memories. And then you're going to hit copy and come back and paste that output right here. And again, hit this add to memory button. And that's it. That's all you have to do. And now Claude knows as much about you and your business as ChatGPT ever did. So, end of the day, should you take my advice and make the switch? Given my personal experience creating content with both models for my business, my recommendation is that you switch to the paid version of Claude. But I'm also a huge advocate of you doing the comparison testing on your own. Pay for them both for a month or two. You're at what, 40 bucks? Give them the same context and the same task and see which one you like working with better. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to writing and using AI as a coworker, personal preferences matter. So we've talked a lot about Claude today, but it is just one of the 5 must-have tools that I recommend for solo and micro business owners. So if you want to know the other 4, this is the video you want to watch next.